Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another exciting episode of Bees Cast. I'm here live in Idaho Falls with Ballers co-founder Bryan Carmel, and we are looking out at the field right now. Bryan, what did you change yesterday? What did you do differently today? I know I went with an entirely different color scheme. I added a hat. I didn't wear a hat yesterday.
I changed a lot. I changed my pants, first of all. I changed my underwear, which is something, honestly, I would have done anyway.
Yeah.
But I definitely did it. The pants, we're very superstitious, and I think that we might irrationally believe that what we wear to the games has a direct correlation to how the Ballers perform. It's probably not the case, but baseball's weird like that. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I couldn't change my hat because I only brought one hat. But I'm feeling good that we both changed our pants. I think that's going to help.
All right. Now, while we may not have any actual correlation to what happens on the field, I see a guy right here, Reed
Butts,
who does have a huge correlation to what happens on the field. And Reed's going to jump in with us now.
How are you guys?
What's up, Reed?
How we doing?
Absolute pleasure to have you. You pitched incredibly well last night. Just how did that outing you had really pump you up for this team in this series, getting that nod in game one and absolutely delivering? I know we didn't get the win, but you absolutely pitched well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of just the game plan for the starters all year is, we want to give 5 innings, and the motto is kind of just 2 runs or less, and as long as you can go and give give the boys the best chance to win. And I think it's the best I could do that yesterday. We did, and unfortunately came out short. But offense has been great all year, and we're going to keep carrying our weight, and they're going to pick us up, and we're going to pick them up, and it's going to be great. So
now, having just faced this team, what do we need to know as fans watching this game, for the people watching this live stream? Tell us a little bit about what you experienced in facing the Idaho Falls Chuckers. I know this is a team you've pitched against and pitched well against in the past, but this version of the team here in the championship, what is the scouting report on these guys?
Yeah, I think, when you get to playoffs, obviously the numbers go back to zero, and, it's a completely new season starts. So I think the important part is just sticking to the best part of the plate, trusting what you can locate, and you don't want to leave anything over the middle of the plate, so it's best to attack early. You want to attack them inside, you want to fill up the zone and throw your best stuff through the zone. So whatever that is, a spinner, change up, curveball, that's really just the best approach, and you want to stay on the offensive. Once you start getting passive, and that can happen like last night, you start walking guys, and but when you make the adjustment and you attack, and you see the difference. So.
Yeah, Reed, I'm curious. We've got Noah Milliken on the men tonight, aka Milky, aka the Milkman, aka Thunder y Leche. And I'm curious, now that you've gone through their lineup a few times and had a lot of success, did you have any specific advice for him, or did you have a conversation with him about what he's about to see?
I didn't. There's no conversation that needs to be had. If needed, it'll happen. I think for him, it's just his stuff's been fantastic all year. Stick to his approach that he's been doing, is being aggressive, throwing his stuff in the zone. He's the type of guy, he doesn't need to change his game plan, and he adjusts on the fly. So he pitches very competitively, and I think this is going to be a good matchup for him tonight, because it's just like last night. You pitch some aggressive, and you see how well we can play, and so this time around it'll be the same way. So.
Yeah, and as you watch this, if you would like to ask a question, you can ask in the comments. You'll see me looking down a lot because I'm looking at the comments actively and putting them on the screen. So feel free to jump in, feel free to comment, feel free to ask questions. We only have a couple more minutes here with Reed, but I just want to rewind a bit. This is your second year with the Ballers. You've been around this team a lot. You've been around Oakland a lot. How much does it mean to you to be able to step up like you did yesterday and to try to give these fans in Oakland something to be happy about after everything the fans of Oakland have been through?
Yeah, it's great to perform in the regular season, and having the Ballers fans come support me all year the last 2 years. It's been great to kind of have a flourishing season this year as a starter. The big thing is just want to give you guys an opportunity to, especially in meaningful baseball like postseason. And last year, we came up a little short, and this season was just important. I knew we had a deeper run coming, and I knew I was going to get my opportunity, and just prepared to be ready. And that's just kind of the approach, is just give the guys the best opportunity. And same with Oakland, they've done so well in supporting us, and that's what we do. want to give back, you know?
Yeah. Do you have any moments that kind of stand out to you this year? I mean, this has been a historic season for the Oakland Ballers so far. Hopefully it gets even better. But, what are some of the things that you look back on this year and are just really proud of or just really enjoyed?
I mean, after the first week, the team it was just a shift in momentum. The first week, we were all figuring each other out and figuring out how we're going to play the game. We had a lot of errors that first week. We split with Ogden, and after that was just it just seemed like we hit a switch and everyone was on the same wave. And there's a great chemistry here, and Jim and Aaron, they've done a great job, and James, they've done a great job to keep that camaraderie together with the team, and the guys have done a great job in leadership and new guys coming in. It's been a perfect balance of just guys from last year, guys that played affiliate ball, know the game, know how to win, and it's just like I said, couldn't have been a better blend of guys this year.
You got one more for him?
I'm curious, okay, so it's a huge game tonight. You already pitched. You're definitely not going in. What are your game day duties? What happens for you during a game like tonight? What do you do?
Well, my first duty is I got to go to bucket for batting practice. So making sure the hitters can get all their good swings that they need, and then just picking up everybody else for the rest of the night, being the best team guy I can be, and continue just to pick these guys up and trust that and tell them that they're going to go and do what they're about to do and swing in and pitch well. So,
all right, Reed, we're going to let you go. We know you got to go do bucket. I was told we had 5 minutes with you, so I want to honor that, not take up any more of your time, but it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Reed.
It's been a pleasure. We were very happy to have you on. We appreciate you, Reed.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff, man.
Should I get a gin?
Let's just slide back over. Let's keep it cooking. So we talked a little bit off the top about things that we changed. I also did not have breakfast today. I went on a 4-mile walk with Paul and our GM Laura. And then all of us met up at Buffalo Wild Wings again for lunch.
We did, and I had a salad, which is not necessarily the move at Buffalo Wild Wings, but nevertheless, that is what I ordered. And we thought about enrolling Casey in their rewards program, which is called Wild Points, or
I think it was Blazin reward
points,
thing.
Blazin rewards. So we didn't quite finish it was a lengthy application. We didn't finish it, but hopefully even just the intention to join Blazin programs at Buffalo Wild Wings will help give us a little bit of extra edge so we can take a victory tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to point out too, if you're listening, Buffalo Wild Wings, there's plenty of real estate on this screen where you could jump in. We do love, though, however,
great sponsorship.
Great sponsor in Field Work that sponsors this very podcast, and shout out to Field Work. One thing I'm really missing out here in Idaho Falls is that delicious Field Work beer that I could so desperately use right now in this stressful situation. But Zach St. Pierre, ZSP, is about to join us as we look out on the field. The Idaho Falls Chuckers are wrapping up their BP session right now. I see Gabe Vasquez, who is very briefly a member of the Oakland Ballers at the start of the year, came over in the draft, and now a Chucker. And the Ballers are about to take the field here in batting practice as we get warmed up for game 2.
Yeah, and a couple things about this Idaho Falls Chuckers teams. They're very good at baseball, and we can't underestimate them. First of all, they're up 1-0 on us, but we looked at the ERAs. They've got very high ERAs. A lot of their starters are in the 6s or 7s for ERAs, but the eye test, these guys can pitch. They had a reliever coming in late in the game, the Italian guy. I think he pitched 3 innings, and he was just dealing.
Yeah.
These guys are formidable, and so we've got our work cut out for us.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to do our shift. This is our shift right here. We're going to welcome in Zach St. Pierre, ZSP, to Bees Cast Live from Idaho Falls as we get set to take on the Chuckers. Zach, I'm actually really interested because I hear a different perspective often, but as I hear Tyler set up these games, or Aaron, or even Reed's perspective, what is your take on this team that the Ballers are currently playing? What's the secret to success? What do we have to look out for if you're watching this live stream as a fan?
I'd say our biggest thing right now is just staying in control of ourselves, not really about who we're playing against. It's more so just staying with each other and being what's comfortable. I mean, when we press, we don't play well. When we're playing loose and just show up and no aim to take BP, that's when we play our best. That's when we hit our best. And I mean, we did that all season long. 73 wins doesn't just happen. I mean, with this group, I mean, we're such a team and such a family that nobody's on the outside, and we all know what we're capable of, and it's just about staying within each other.
Zach, how do you not panic, like, as a team? Because I think we've come in here with extreme confidence. Our pitching has been dominant. Our bats have been a little quiet for the last 3 weeks or so. And obviously it didn't go the way we wanted last night. Like, what's the mentality? What's the mindset knowing that, like, we got to go back to Oakland with a slit taking tonight's game?
I mean, panicking is very easy. So to not do that sounds easy, but the easiest thing right now is to panic, but that's obviously not what we're going to do. I mean, we're all frustrated. We wanted to win last night. We wanted to take game 1 and then just win 2 more, and we had 3 at home. But with our mentality, I mean, I have no second guess that we're going to take 4 in a row. I mean, we still tonight, and then we have 3 at home with our fan base and with the pitchers, our starters that we have lined up. I mean, I'm very comfortable with where we're at. And last night would have been a steal in my eyes, but with who we got going and what we got lined up, I'm not worried one bit, and I don't think any of us are either. Our bats are going to pick us up eventually. Our pitching's been the strong point in the playoffs, but I mean, they picked us up all season long. It's our turn to step up to the plate, but our hitters are going to show up eventually, and we know they will. So we're not going to be pushing them. We're not going to be panicking. We're going to let them find their groove, and when we do, we're going to be unstoppable.
Is there any way that you could just go into the clubhouse right now and give that same exact speech you just gave?
I wish. I mean, I'm a very quiet person. People take me pretty serious. So, I mean, if I did go do that, they'd probably listen. But like I said, there's no need to press and not to rub it in their face. I think we all know what the writing is on the wall. But, yeah, I mean, I'm really not worried. We are a great team. We are a better team. I think we're the best team in the league. I think our record shows that. I mean, we faced adversity all year long. Even though we won a lot of games, we won a lot of games past the 7th inning. And it was due to our bats and our bullpen. So I'm really not worried. I like the position we're in. And it makes it that much better if we go still 4 in a row.
Zach, I have a question. What is Kiana telling you? Your wife, Kiana St. Pierre, obviously somebody who is very vocal, has a lot to say, and is wise beyond her years. And I love Kiana and become friends with her. But she's shared advice that she's given you with me, at various times in your career here with the Ballers. And I'm just curious, like, what is the mentality? What's the mind frame that she's telling you to go in? Your number could get called, like, really any time. Like, you might go in and you might need to eat up 3 or 4 innings any one of these days. What's she telling you?
Honestly, right now, she's just saying, enjoy the moment, enjoy what you have left, enjoy where you are, and if your name does get called, just do your thing and pitch. Just pitch. She said just enjoy it all, because you never know if it's going to be your last. And even to be in this position, I mean, it's hard to be where we are. It doesn't just happen, especially in this league. Only 4 make it to the playoffs, and we've done it luckily 2 years in a row. I mean, a lot of hard-fought games, but we've been here 2 years in a row, and the celebration that we have, I tell all the younger guys, like, this doesn't just happen. This isn't a normal thing, so enjoy it. But she's in the back corner saying the same thing. Just enjoy where you are and what you have left.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. This team made history this year, 73 wins. You had a guy like Sully setting a Pioneer League record. We have these fans that come out and support so strong. How special is this experience for you and the relationships that you've gotten to form with some of these guys? I know that this team is extremely tight-knit, and not all teams get along, but one really seems like it does. So, just contextually, just how much have you enjoyed this whole process?
I've enjoyed a lot of it because, like, the difference between last year and this year within the team, I think we just all click. It doesn't matter if you're a position guy, pitcher, bullpen guy. It doesn't matter. Like, we all just mesh, and, like, we can show up and joke around with each other, give each other crap, and we're still all laughing, joking, having a good time. But, I mean, I'm just happy with the position that we are in, because, like, this team and what we have done, I've already said it just doesn't happen. And with this group of guys, it'll just mean that much more. And to give Aaron this, Jimmy this, James this, I mean, they all deserve it just as much as us. And I mean, it's been a long year, 4 months together every single day, and to have no fights with all the testosterone we got going, I mean, we are just brothers, and we are just a big family.
Yeah. Who has the most testosterone?
Oh, man. That's a great – I would probably say this year it's got to be Chewy.
Chewy.
Chewy's a red button away from just flipping out. But it keeps us alive in the bullpen. No shade to Chew. I mean, he embraces it and we love it. But he gets fired up, but he'll fight for the hitters too. It doesn't matter. Yeah. He'll fight.
Yeah, I've seen him get fired up in the dugout too. All right, so the Chuckers are leaving the field. The Ballers are about to start BP. We are live from Idaho Falls. This is Bees Cat live by Fieldwork Brewing. Thank you so much for joining us. That's what you call a reset, boys, just for people that are tuning in. We have a question here from Marley. What's something from this season that you will take and consider for the seasons to come?
Honestly, what I would take from this year is just staying mellow, just flatlining the whole way. Don't get too high, don't get too low. And I mean, that's really when we do play our best, is just mellow, flat. I mean, we never get too high. I mean, we went on 2 12-game winning streaks, and it was just another day at the office. I mean, we weren't just like excited about it. We wanted more. We were at 11 games, and we were in a close game for 12, and we're like, we want to win this game. We want to win the next game, and it's always like push, push, push. But we never got too high, and we haven't gotten too low either. I mean, today would be a great day to show up and say that we have nothing left to fight for. That we just lost a game we should have won, but I mean, we're going to show up and we are going to compete, and I think we're going to win this game, and it's not going to be close today, in my opinion. So, I mean, I have a lot of trust in these guys, but honestly, just being mellow, that's what I take from this team and moving forward, whether I am playing, coaching, whatever. Don't get too high, don't get too low.
Now, you just said it there, and obviously you have to lose a game to start a win streak, but I feel like we had 2 tough losses prior to these 12-game win streaks that we went on, and when I look at this team, I really would have to think very hard about the last time this team lost 2 in a row. This team seems to really bounce back strong from a loss, so I could sense that nobody's panicking after a Game 1 loss, right?
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. I mean, it's just a new day, and it's a new win streak today, so that's what we're going to do.
We have a Ice Cold Kenny here saying, "Do your thing, fellas." I know Ice Cold Kenny would have been out here making a lot of noise yesterday, especially with Kirkland Banks in the lineup. If you know, you know.
And the beers here in Idaho Falls, they weren't ice cold, Kenny. Your presence was definitely missed. They were cold, but I don't think they felt ice cold.
No, definitely not. Zach, I know that you guys are locked in, but when you hear someone like Kenny or Mike or any of our, loud and boisterous vendors or fans, like, do you ever notice that and just kind of chuckle, or like, does it fire you up at all? Like, how much do you really notice the antics from the crowd, so to speak?
I mean, it is a bit different of playing on the road and playing at home. I mean, we've really been harping on this lately, but like all of you, I mean, Ice Cold, Scrappy, I mean, everyone in the crowd, they are our 10th player. I mean, it really does feel like we have home field advantage when we are at home, and we have 3,000 plus fans supporting us every single night, yelling for us, wanting us to win. I mean, it does impact us. It knows that we aren't out because we got y'all behind us.
Zach, who's a member of the Oakland Ballers that, in your opinion, just deserves their roses? Like, maybe isn't necessarily the first name that everybody thinks of, but is somebody that you just for our viewers, like, is there anybody that really stands out for you as like this guy, this teammate is part of the glue that's made us so successful?
I mean, it's hard to pick just one, but I mean, I got to go with our captains, Tilo and Dylan Tatum. I mean, they're the sergeants in the field. I mean, they us and they tell us what to do. I mean, they do the scouting reports. I mean, we talk about it, but they are the ones studying the hitters day in, day out. And I mean, I would say those guys are the leaders of the team. And I mean, it's hard to pick just one. I mean, we got Danny Harris, a lot of wisdom. I mean, he keeps everyone calm. But I mean, like I said, it's hard to pick one. We are a team, but if it were, it would be our catchers for sure.
All right, ZSP, we're going to let you go. I know that we got a lot cooking. We got some people lined up over here that want to jump in on the cast. Do you have any, I feel inspired by a lot of what you said. I feel a lot better going into this game now after listening to you. Do you have any last message, any last words of inspiration for the people out there?
Let's go Ballers.
Let's go Ballers.
You can never take a baller out the bay.
Yep, thanks a lot. Thank you all.
Thank you, ZSP.
ZSP.
All right, so we're getting a lot of comments. A lot of them are pep-up type comments. I've been filtering through here. If you're watching now, I look down a lot because I'm monitoring the comments. I'm putting them on the screen. Okay. Do you want, hey Tyler, you want to jump on for a minute?
I can get him now.
All right, cool. Yeah, so
Thank you for the emojis.
thank you for
Kenny.
the emojis, Kenny. There's Kenny's emojis in case anybody was curious. So yeah, as this thing's gonna get underway here soon, I see Cam Buford just over here. I see Tremaine Cobb just over here to my right. I see Christian Almanza walking out onto the field with Leahy. Aaron Miles is over there chatting. And we're going to have some more guests here on their way as we continue this episode of Bees Cast live from Idaho Falls ahead of Game 2 of the Pioneer Baseball League Championship. Remember, jump in on the comments, ask questions. We will answer them, and we will put your comments on the screen as we continue cooking. And Bryan, I know that this game is very important for a lot of reasons. Obviously, we wanted to just take at least one on the road, and two, with the games Friday, Saturday in Oakland, a win tonight assures that there's a Game 4, and we would really love to see everybody on Saturday at Raimondi Park.
Yeah. I mean, I think leaving. Look, our goal is to win, and our goal is to leave Idaho Falls with a split. We feel really good coming home with a split, so we got to make it happen tonight. And here's a huge and a huge of the reason that we've been so successful this year, James Collier. Welcome, James Collier, to Beastcast.
Thanks for having me, guys.
James Collier, a.k.a. the Big Dipper. Tell us a little bit about this experience, this trip. I know it was a long road trip out here, but we're here. It's beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky. This is the Pioneer Baseball League Championship. It's what we're all here for, is to win and be in this game. So, what is this experience been like for you as somebody that grew up in sports and now representing a team with Oakland on your back in the championship?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's why we play all year. So we try to go break the league record and to get to this spot. And everybody's excited to be in this moment. Everybody's, I believe, ready for the moment. Fortunately, the ball didn't kick our way last night, but I thought we played 5 games for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So James, tell us about last night. Our pitching has been, you guys delivered. Obviously, ball didn't go completely in our favor, but all in all, you got to feel good about giving up that number of runs at altitude, and ultimately we got to get our bats to wake up. But how are you guys feeling about last night, and what are we changing in the approach going into tonight's game?
Yeah, I think the confidence is still there for everybody. I know I coming in last night, I didn't make some of the best pitches. Put us in the best shot to win. And as a bullpen, ready to go make an impact later in the series too. So
yeah. How much does something like that motivate you? Obviously, if it didn't go your way last night, but to be able to get back out there. I know we even just leaving the ballpark, we're like, man, this is going to be a long,
It's gonna be a fight.
10 plus some hitters. So, what's your breakdown? Have experience facing them just yesterday?
Yeah, it's unique because this is one of the only teams that we have.
Keeps going off here. And it's back. Every time I acknowledge it, it comes back. Again, the Wi-Fi here in Idaho Falls isn't quite as nice as the amazing internet connection provided by Monkey Brains at Ramondi Park, right? Any last bits of advice, any last bits of wisdom for Ballers fans as they are nervously awaiting Game 2 of the Pioneer Baseball League Championship?
Advice for the fans at home, man. If I get more nervous as a fan of when I'm watching something else or then I'm actually out there playing. Just if it helps you, just know we're prepared, we're confident, and we're ready to ride out here, man.
Who pick game MVP today? Throw me out a name.
Mons gonna get this thing going.
He's due.
Yeah.
He's been the backbone of our lineup all year, man, and he's a big-time player. His confidence is always through the roof, no matter what he's doing. So, if I'm bad.
I have to say, I have observed in the last week and especially last night, our big bats, there is some pressing going on. I saw a lot of big swings at like low and inside fastballs, but just mash. I think, we got to calm down and not try to be a hero and just figure out how to get a couple of singles and doubles.
These guys know what they're doing, man. They've hit all year, throughout literally the whole year. I'm not gonna go give out hitting advice. These guys know what they're doing.
I've seen you hit though. You can hit.
If I give out advice,
But I could still hit.
Yesterday, I think that we are on the brink of a breakout. It is coming and it will come tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my prediction. James.
One more
we got
question.
one more. Let's hold off
last
on
question.
handshake. Yeah.
Jake Allgaier and Nick Leahy, they look a little bit alike.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever confuse them? We confuse them.
On purpose, we confuse them to, make a little joke of it. I don't think anybody actually does, but Jake might get called Nick a couple of times a day on purpose.
If we switch their uniforms mid-game, do you think the umpires would notice? Back over. Hopefully our connection can preserve this live stream because it is a little bit spotty here.
So we're watching batting practice right now. The Ballers just started. They look loose. They look happy. They're making jokes, which is nice. I think that's a lot of this. Just feel, let's not put any pressure on ourselves. Just feel good. It's another beautiful day here in Idaho Falls, and we just got to execute.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that this team is loose. I think they're ready. They're not putting too much pressure on themselves at this moment in time. I also think that the crowd here in Idaho Falls isn't like the crowd in Oakland.
No.
We were in the crowd last night. We were talking somewhat quietly earlier on, a little bit more loudly later on. But, it seems like when you talk here, everybody can hear you. You can hear a pin drop at times.
In the park were probably us.
Yeah.
We're like literally you and I.
Yeah.
We're maybe the loudest fans.
So I don't think that factor is something that's adding any pressure to our boys here out at Idaho Falls. So that'll be a good component. Tyler, do you want to jump in with us real quick?
Tyler
Petersen, the broadcaster, the man with all the information. He does the game notes. Hopefully our connection stays strong enough.
The Moneyball, the Jonah Hill character in Moneyball was actually based on Tyler Petersen, even though he was how many years old when that movie came out?
Was it 2010 maybe?
I think 2003 or 4.
Well, it was based on the 2002 A's. So
I'll tell you what. I remember in probably the East Bay Times when I was little, the article front page. It's like, hey, come on out if you want to be an extra in the Coliseum.
Yeah, I remember
sit
that.
in the bleachers and be part of Hatteberg's home run. And I think even there's a either Ben or someone, either a friend of the Ballers or a family of the Ballers, is an extra in that movie.
Nice. So Tyler, as we sit here looking out at our guys, I see Danny Harris taking BP right now, James Harris throwing in pitches. We are in the dugout at Idaho Falls live on Beescast Live, presented by Fieldwork. What is the scouting report for the game today? Who are we facing on the mound? What do we have to look for from our team, our lineup, as they face the Idaho Falls Chuckers here in Game 2?
So Connor Harrison's on the mound. He is a soft-tossing left-hander. The last time Oakland saw him was late August last year when the Chuckers were in town. He, I believe, threw 7 no-hit innings that day. Oof. And lost 1-0 on an unearned run. I think it was Tripp Clark who hit a pop-up to the first baseman, Jablonski, and he missed the pop-up, and eventually Clark came around to score. That was a Nevada-only game, if I remember correctly. I think I was sick that day, so Nevada had the call for that game. I believe that was Sully's first save as well in that game. Harrison just came off of the IL. They put Tyler Wyatt, who is their franchise player, on the IL to bring him on. So he's fresh. I don't know how long he was out or inactive. So we're probably going to see a well-rested pitcher today. Yesterday we saw a lefty who didn't throw too hard. Harrison, I think by design, throws very soft. So the breaking ball could be in the high 60s to low 70s. And he's given Oakland trouble before. That was a year ago, and I mean, to be honest, there's only one member of this offense that was in the lineup that day, and that was Tilo, and he's not starting catcher tonight. So you're going to have 9 guys with a fresh look at someone, and Harrison has to prove that he is ready to go and fresh on the mound as well.
Tyler, what do you think about the evolution of this Idaho Falls team? Because I know, we were talking to their skipper, Troy Percival, yesterday, and he was making the comment that a lot of his roster are returning players, and last year they, of course, didn't have a whole ton of success, but this year they've come in, they've grinded all season long, and they've proven themselves, and they've proven to be a really formidable opponent for the Ballers.
Well, we touched on it a little bit yesterday. He was building this team in late July and August last year. We're out of it, and of course they went for it a little bit in the second half, but they really were not going to compete in that year, and so they were able to trade away some parts to try to get some future assets. They did that. He re-signed, I think, half of his squad while season was still going on last year. I mean, he really put his faith into these guys. Of course, there are some guys who played for him in college on this. He's shown a lot of success, I think, probably because his guys trust him so much. He's a good tactician as well. He knows the game as well as anyone. A teammate of manager Aaron Miles at one point as well. A couple of guys who have some World Series rings to themselves. It's something to where you have to battle. What is your line you put between winning, developing players at this level? And so Troy has done both. They've sent 2 players on to Major League Baseball franchises, and now they're winning. And I think they're winning because they trust each other. He has a squad that he likes, and he's made decisions when he's had to. And I think if you look at the team's ERA, if you look at some of the changes they have made, when they have made a change, those are the guys they have stuck with for the rest of the season. They have not been super transient. I think, it's a bit of a gamble at the start of the year for every team, not exactly knowing what you'll get. Yesterday, I mean, the Raptors never scored more than 4 in a game, and I think we said we expected to see Idaho Falls score more than that. They scored 5 yesterday. The bat's still a little bit silent for us, so hopefully we can come through in situations where we should come through. I think we left 12 men on base yesterday.
Ooh. Yeah, we had a lot of opportunities to put more runs on the board. Speaking of keeping runs off the board, though, Noah Milliken, the milkman, on the mound tonight has been as good as they get when it comes to pitching, especially here in the Pioneer League. Having pitched in Game 1 in Oakland, huge opportunity, started out a little rocky, a little nervous, and then really dialed in. How do you see him approaching this game today?
Well, at elevation, he's been as productive as he has been at sea level. So that's one thing I'm not worried about. He's a sinker ball pitcher, which will play well here. The changeup has the same action. It's sort of like Reed, but from the right side. It's that same action. He's got the big curveball. Milky, of course, will have a lot more extension in how he throws those pitches. I mean, the key here is just making sure that curveball stays down in the zone, that one doesn't hang. You are not going to get that same snap. I think one thing that Milliken has going for him is that he will be a brand new quantity to these chuckers. So they have not seen him before. He's bringing the best ERA in the league to this game. And his strikeout to walk ratio, I believe, is either best or second best as well among all starters. So he'll be playing with nothing but confidence. I know something was him being a little bit nervous in that first game and then sort of almost gave up the home run to settle down. But 7 innings, 1 earned run against Ogden, which is a very good squad. I think today between Harrison and Milliken, we may see a continuation of what we saw yesterday. I thought yesterday may have been a little bit more of a high-scoring game. And I think in terms of playoffs, what we've seen this year, it was. But I think we're going to see the best pitcher on the squad go for a game where you feel it's not a must-win, but it's a we really need to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I thought was really interesting, I visited you in the yesterday's, you called the game, and you pointed out that the roster of the Idaho Falls Chuckers is almost entirely from California. I think maybe 4 players on the roster aren't actually natives of California. So, what do you think that's going to be like for them as they come back to California and play the Oakland Ballers? Do you think that's going to be something where they're arranging a lot of trips for family and tickets and passes and have a lot of extra responsibilities, and maybe it might get in their heads a little bit when they take the field in Oakland at Raimondi Park?
Well, we'll see if it gets in their heads a little bit. I can say the pass list will be quite big. I think we're going to have a lot of Chuckers fans in that third base.
Is it tickets.oaklandballers.com?
Tickets.oaklandballers.com if you want to pay a fair price. You can also do that at your own risk. But tickets.oaklandballers.com is where you want to go.
Probably the move.
If you want $20. $20. If you want to get a little bit nicer seat, those are there, but there are not many left. I mean, nothing behind premium reserved unless you need ADA seating. Yep. And then as far as the reserved bleachers, I think there's only something like 80 tickets left.
And of course, if the Ballers are successful tonight and walk out of Idaho Falls with a split, that guarantees that there will be a Game 4 in Oakland on Saturday.
That's when you pounce on tickets for Saturday.
If you're really, hedging your bets on this is going to be a 5-game series and you're taking the games, I would get those now, so you can be part of this if you'd like to come out. Of course, if you want to listen to, this is a preview, by the way, for how my voice is going to sound at the start of the game. So,
as Paul said, it sounds husky right now.
Yeah, a little bit Barry White-esque. We'll see how deep it goes tonight. But yes, it'll. You can always listen to the game, watch it as well. We'll be back on 8:60 a.m. The Answer and our YouTube stream tonight. We appreciate everybody that chimed in last night. It was good to see a lot of our Ballers staff, Ballers parents, Ballers friends, and fans who normally tune in with us. So it should be a fun one tonight again. Like I said, I think if these boys have a ton of confidence, and I'm sure in the guys that you've just talked to, they have said nothing but the same. I don't think they're frightened at all. Now, if we're down 2-0 and we have to play 3 straight elimination games, that might get a little bit more hairy. So coming out of Idaho Falls with a win tonight, I think is going to be really the highest import. So I hope we can be done.
Yeah, and Tyler, I'd like to remind people watching that growing up an A's fan, I saw the A's go up 2-0 many times in a 5-game series, and they lost pretty much all of them. So
it was honestly their specialty.
It was their specialty. So 0-2 is not a death sentence by any means, but it would you wouldn't love. And I'd love to see the ball get a win tonight. Guarantee a game 4, and then get off to the races.
I was going to say, I remember at least one of those 2 Tiger series in the 10s, they were down 2-0, at least forced, if not a game 4, a game 5. The Seth Smith walk-off and other series that I have taken with me throughout these years. Balfour yelling at Victor Martinez when he was just talking to himself. Benches clearing. Reddick almost robbing the home run in Comerica. I mean, there's a lot you can go through. And of course, the last playoff series the Oakland Athletics had, or I guess not the last, but in the last one, they actually won a series in that wild card round against the Shy Sox, only to lose against the Astros in Dodger Stadium, which, again, as a lifelong Giants and A's fan, to play the Astros in Dodger Stadium was, I don't know, akin to having me grate my eyeballs onto a piece. It was so.
MVP for this game. He picked one person. He picked Christian Almanza. Tyler, I'm curious, who do you think is going to be the breakout / MVP of the team on this game 2?
Let me peruse the lineup here.
Let's run through that.
Let's see what we got here. This will be certainly a little bit of a sneak peek.
Good, because you can't say Milligan, because that would be a little jinxy.
Line of card we see right there.
So we caught Santos, Buford, Almanza, Harris, Tatum, Allgaier, Druick, and McKenzie. I mean, I really like what McKenzie did yesterday. You're looking at a guy who had a couple of hits, RBI hit. He can take the extra base. I'm gonna put my money on Jake Allgaier today. I'm gonna say he starts an around the horn double play. I'm gonna say he has at least 2 hits of runs in scoring position.
That'd be nice.
I think that's the winning formula. If you have Allgaier, who's sitting in the bottom third, coming up with a big game, that means they'll have a good game as well.
And we are sure he's not Nick Leahy?
I mean, the jury's still out. I got 2 guys at third who both wear arm sleeves. I mean, Allgaier's got a little bit more bling on him, but I can't quite catch the glimmer sometimes. Both are outstanding defensive third basemen.
Yeah.
And
They look very young.
they both are very young.
Nick looks exceptionally young.
Nick has a little bit more pinch in those cheeks, I'd say. But I would say that I think we needed to give them different numbers other than 13 or 23, because even at the side, it's still hard to tell sometimes. I can say this as a white man myself, so.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned TJ. I know. I talked to Skipper last night after the game, and he was kicking himself for pinch hitting for TJ. He pinch hit Lou, I think, late in the game, but
Well,
it didn't turn out the way we wanted, but like it could have.
And here's the thing: let's take the magnifying glass away from the championship and say that the decisions being made in these championships are the same decisions that have been made all year, which is to go to the advantage on handedness for at bats like Collier against Pappas. Wanted Lou in that situation. You get the first 2 men on against a right-handed hitter. You want a lefty in that spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're resolved to not drop down a bunt or put something else on, you probably want to have the guy there that has the 3rd best batting average on the team and that has driven in over, I think he's driven in close to 70 RPI this year. Yeah. So are the decisions bad? They're not bad decisions. They're the same decisions that got us here. It was just that the players didn't execute last night. And I think what you saw last night was the Chuckers win. I don't think the Ballers lost. I think the Chuckers went out and got that win. They're a team that had to go on the road for 3 games and win in a hostile environment in Missoula, and they did. They took that series, and I think yesterday you saw a team that was working with a lot of confidence themselves. They went and took that win yesterday.
I'm hearing what sound like a lot of thunder extremely hard as they take batting practice, and I'd love to see those balls carry a bit tonight. I know Nick Leahy hit one yesterday that I thought for sure was gone, and it didn't go out. But I keep hearing we're not, Tyler. When are we going to see these balls fly?
We're over 4,000 feet in altitude, and I'll tell you what, Nick Leahy hit that ball 371 feet. Yeah. If we're at home, that ball is gone. I think the issue is the Ballers have not, as a team, hit a home run in something about 10 days.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the previous series. It was the later Obviously, it hung up for the outfielder. There was just not a ton of solid contact in the air. I mean, even Cobb's double, you could say, was only hit about 90 miles an hour and sort of fell into a spot to where, with his speed, it's a double, but it's not a double for everyone else. So I think they need to win this game with their bats. They need to swing, maybe swing early, and try and catch Harrison and maybe try and get him out there before 5.
Yeah, and hopefully, I know also talking to Troy Percival before their game, he was like, man, our bullpen arms, our bullpen arms, but their bullpen arms last night looked pretty good. The Italian guy's name Pinazzi? Pinazzi.
Yes.
I mean, his stuff looks strong. Do they have, how deep is their bullpen? Should we be able to knock
it's an
out the
excellent
starter?
question, and like we said, we haven't seen this team, so we can do all the research, but we won't know how they look until they face us, how our guys react. Now, we saw Nicolo Pinazzi quite a bit last year, both home and road, and I don't remember him yesterday. I mean, that was in this altitude, in this air, snapping quite a bit, close to 3,000 RPMs, which is what you would call a major league baseline breaking ball. And then he was throwing up to 95. So, I mean, you had guys absolutely in the rocking chair last night, and a couple guys not knowing where or how hard to swing at certain pitches. Let's say that he's unavailable today after throwing a 2 2/3 inning save. I don't know if that's the case or not, but if that is the case, don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to face the other team's closer.
All right, I think we should wrap up this live stream. What do you say, Brian? We're at 47 minutes.
One last question for Tyler Petersen. Tyler. Yes. Oh. Tyler's
doing
taking a
GM
call.
things.
Tyler, a lot of the players were really relieved to learn that Casey and I had decided to change our pants because they thought that, that had an impact, hopefully tonight, on mixing things up.
Yeah, I wore a hat today. I didn't have one on yesterday. We mixed it up.
I'm curious, did you change your wardrobe at all, thinking that maybe that'll help with a different outcome for tonight?
Baseball superstition, they call it superstition, being part of baseball.
Hygienic.
You have to know, but I'm saying part of baseball. If we had won, Brian, I would not have even got out of my clothes. I think I would have slept in them. This is the championship series. So I've got new shoes, new socks, new pants, new underpants, a new shirt. The only thing that's the same is my grandfather's watch. So
good.
Yeah.
So you did change your underpants?
Yes, I did, yes.
Well, that's a great place for us to wrap, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like all three of us have changed our underpants. It's game 2 of the Pioneer Baseball League Championship. Tyler, when you go up to the press box, please shout at them for their Wi-Fi being as spotty as it is. I feel like we need a little more juice down here in the Ballers dugout so that we can have a clean live stream. Hello, Michael O'Hara.
The good thing I can tell you is that the radio broadcast tonight will be Ethernetted in. So
good.
Nice. Maybe we could get like a 200-foot cable and run it down here if we ever come here again. But after tonight, we will be getting on a bus and flying home, and we will be back in Oakland where we have very good internet. And thank you for watching. We all love and appreciate you. This has been Beescast Live, sponsored by Fieldwork. Game 2 coming up quickly. I cannot wait. And that is all.
Let's go, Oakland.
Let's go, Oakland.